All right, guess we officially live right now. Okay. Ah, come on. All right. All right. Well, Jacob, damn, feels like I haven't seen you in forever, man. How you been? It's been a while, hasn't it?
What are you talking about? You've been on my stream 2 days ago. Talking about
Yeah,
the
man.
kindergarten cop.
I know that was a fun stream, and yeah, definitely I'm gonna chop it up today. So welcome back to the channel, and yeah, to those of you that don't know, look, well, Jacob's been here enough, man. Like this is family right now. If y'all don't know what Jacob is, then shame on y'all. But I'm gonna go ahead and introduce you anyway. So Jacob Martin, you have a film channel, a film critique channel where you talk about almost every damn film known to man. You know what I'm saying? I just love the way you break films down. And so real quick, before we get into it, just plug in your channel and what you got coming up. And we about to talk about some leather and chaps.
All right. Well, if you haven't watched any of the videos on my channel, I usually do movie reviews, TV reviews, all that fun stuff. Yesterday on my channel, I talked about Obi-Wan Kenobi and why I'm such a fan of the show. As we previously joked about, I had Rashad on for a live stream 2 days ago. We talked Kindergarten Cop. That was a fun time. You
Yes,
can
sir.
check out the replay of that. Other videos coming to the channel. My review of Surfs Up 2 Wave Mania just dropped a few minutes ago. The bizarre crossover of Surfs Up and WWE. A terrible crossover. Should not have been made. And
Yeah.
then other videos coming this week. I'm reviewing The Muppets, the 2011 film from my Celebrating Disney series that I do on my
Mm,
channel. And another video coming. I got a video for Thor the Dark World coming this Saturday in
mm.
preparation for Thor Love and Thunder coming out next weekend.
Nice, nice. Yeah, Thor: The Dark World. That's definitely the black sheep of the Thor movies, and rated by many to be one of the worst MCU films. I beg to differ on that. Well, it's on the bottom. It's like near the bottom, but I would still put that over Iron Man 3 and Ant Man and the Wasp. I hated
Mm.
those. Yeah,
Yeah,
and the Eternals.
it's in my bottom two MCU movies. It's still
Mm,
watchable, but it's definitely pales compared to some of the best movies.
right, right. All right, so yo, rev up your engines. We're about to get into it. So yo, this is the first time I've done this on the channel here. Well, on a live stream, actually having a double feature review. So we're reviewing Mad Max, the 1979 George Miller. I guess you can call it sci-fi exploitation grindhouse type film, and then Mad Max 2, The Road Warrior, which when I was introduced to it, it was just The Road Warrior. There was no Mad Max 2. I don't think it got Mad Max 2 to like the 90s or like the early 2000s, but in the 80s it was just strictly The Road Warrior, but everybody knew it was a sequel to Mad Max. All right. So real quick, man, what was your introduction to these two movies and your knowledge of them and all that good stuff?
Well, actually, my introduction to Mad Max was Fury Road when it came out in 2015. People were hyping that movie up, and I was excited to see that. And I saw that in theaters and loved it. And I loved Fury Road so much that it made me want to check out the other Mad Max movies. And I eventually checked out the other ones. And I'd
Nice.
say it's interesting going back watching the first movie because both times I was surprised at how smaller in scale the first movie was compared to something like Fury Road, which was
Hmm.
large and
Yeah.
large in scale and was
Oh
like
yeah.
very much hard knuckled in action and explosions and practical stunt work. The first one doesn't even have the post apocalyptic feel. It's kind of teetering the line of that. You can see the society starting to crumble with like the increased rise of gangs and stuff taking over, and
Hmm.
but it's definitely the outlier in the franchise compared to the others, which is set in like the post-apocalyptic
Right.
wasteland.
Yeah, as you know, George Miller directed all the Mad Max movies, including
Yeah.
Fury Road, and man, but yeah, I mean, we're gonna get to Fury Road soon, but I just got to put this out there, like it's rare where you can make a film of a beloved franchise and have it surpass the predecessors. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
because I'm like Mad Max, I said nah, because I'm like Mel Gibson's always Mad Max, man. Forget Tom Hardy, but when I saw Fury Road, I said, holy shit, this is probably the best action movie of the damn decade, man.
Yeah, and it's crazy. George Miller, he's like, what, 70, 80 years
Yeah,
old?
yeah,
And he went all out on Fury Road with, like, the stunt
right,
work, the explosions, telling a cohesive story with the action.
yeah.
It was fantastic. It's one of the best action movies that I've seen in the last several years. It's still up there. I think that and I'd say John Wick were probably the two best action movies that came out in the last decade, I'd
Yeah,
say.
I would agree with that. Yeah, yeah, definitely. It was like it was on cocaine, but then it would take some downers when it slowed down, but then got on back on cocaine again when the action started up. That's how crazy Fury Road was. But speaking of cocaine, yes. So at the height of the cocaine era, 1979, the late 70s, I was actually born that year. Mad Max drops, right, and it's a very low budget film. I forgot the actual budget, but it was like a shoestring
Um,
budget, man. It was made
I
for
got it.
dirt.
I
Okay,
got it.
what you got?
Yeah, I have it on here. $400,000.
Whoo, not even half a million.
That's crazy.
Damn, yo, and he just went all out, all practical effects. I mean, the crashes really happened, you know what I mean? And I don't know, I did actually go through a phase where I watched Mad Max more than the other ones because it had a really fast pace. You know what I mean? It had a fast pace, it was violent. It had a chilling score. It kind of was a horror movie too. Like there was a lot of horror elements in that first movie where I remember being as a kid being kind of scared of the toe cutter. You know what I'm saying? So toe cutter kind of reminded me of Ozzy Osbourne a little bit, like the Ozzy Osbourne that bit the bat's head off on stage. Yeah, yeah.
I can see that now, making the comparisons.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And if anybody watching, if anybody can comment where I can find the dubbed version, because I mean I'm assuming you watched the
I watched the regular Australian version because that was on the
yeah.
Blu-ray that I just recently ordered.
Okay.
I think it said you could watch the American dubbed version as like a special feature, but I just watched the regular
Oh
one because that
really?
was the only
Okay.
one I had time to watch.
Well, I gotta get that. Okay, so the dub version is on the Blu-ray.
Yeah, the main I think the current Blu-ray of it.
Ah, okay. Look, I gotta get that then. Yeah, because the dub version to me worked a lot better because well at the time the reason why they dubbed it in the first place was because they thought American audiences wouldn't understand the thick Australian accents, so they dubbed it with like Southern American voices. But for some reason, those American voices, like especially Toe Cutter sounded very scary in that dub version. Like he had a voice where he spoke like this, like he had kind of like a gravelly kind of Darth Vaderish type voice that was menacing.
Yeah.
And then when you hear him in the Aussie version, it's like, yes, I'm the toe cutter, Bubba Zanetti. quit toying, Bubba. You know, he sounded kind of wimpy almost. You know what I mean? So it was definitely a shift there. But yeah. So you was gonna say something?
Now I was about to say, like I saw when I was watching The Road Warrior the other night, the Blu-ray I had an intro on it from Leonard Maltin, famous movie critic, and he was talking about how part of the reason the first Mad Max didn't do well was because of the fact that they did the dubbed version that nobody went out to see, and apparently they dubbed even Mel Gibson's voice.
Yeah, they did. Yep. Yep.
I can't even imagine a dubbed Mel Gibson.
Yeah. Well, but you know what's funny? He actually, even though he was dubbed, it still sounded like Mel Gibson. So I don't know if they used Mel Gibson to dub Mel Gibson. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like just like with the Bruce Lee movies, they would use actually Bruce Lee to dub his own voice, but just speak in English.
Yeah.
That's probably what they did.
Yeah, because he had an Australian accent in the original the original version.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and it was actually pretty good. It was pretty convincing.
Yeah, no, it was, man. So the first movie, I guess, is supposed to be the '70s version of a post-apocalyptic future. It doesn't even give an exact year; it just says like sometime in the future.
Yeah,
and it's just like an endless road that goes to nowhere. So it can kind of pass for a dystopian type future because all you see is just road and dirt and more roads, and there's a war with the police against the biker gang, led by the toe cutter. So the movie opens up with the chase with the Knight Rider, which from the jump, that opening chase sequence was crazy.
Yes.
Yeah, and we get introduced to Max, who is just a badass off rip. Like they don't even show, they show like the glasses, they show the boots, they show him putting the jacket on, and then getting in the last of the interceptors, the V8, and from there, Knight Rider gets killed. So now Toe Cutter wants to exact revenge on the Bronze, as they call him, for the death of the Toe Cutter. And that's where everything just kind of goes to shit from there. And they did not realize who they were messing with, because out of all the cops, why did they have to kill Max's family? They could have went after anybody else. I mean, they did kill Goose, but which many people compared to Top Gun.
It's kind of funny. His name is Goose. I caught that this time. I'm like,
yeah.
Okay, movie, don't name your sidekick Goose, because Goose will get screwed.
Yeah, but I don't think he actually. Well, I don't think he died though. He was just mangled really bad.
Yeah.
Because remember when Max saw him, he was like, "Nah, that's not the Goose. No way." So
yeah, Goose went pretty crazy midway into the movie.
Yeah, he did. Because what happened? What made him go berserk?
He crashed his motorcycle at one point.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And I think he got beat up pretty bad.
Yeah, and he got beat up, and then Toe Cutter had the crazy guy. What was his name? The real crazy dude, man. He was just always like off his rocker, but he had him set him on fire. And so that's strike one. All right, so you killed Max's best friend, and then strike two, Max is with his family, chilling, having a good time in the country, in the farms, and this is where the horror element comes in. So now Toe Cutter runs into Max's lady, and they're all crushing on her. And which is like a creepy scene, because like the scene where you lick the ice cream and everything, and it was like, oh, be careful, he can lick his eyebrows clean.
Yeah.
And which leads to another chase. Dude loses his hand. Toe Cutter, they catch up to her and then take her out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To me, I think what hurts the first Mad Max movie to me is that incident happens like, I'd say, 75 minutes into a 90-minute movie.
Right.
And the stuff you want to see is Mad Max getting revenge. And so that doesn't happen until the very end of the movie. It's a pretty slow build-up, I'd say. And to me, it makes it not as rewatchable to me as some of the other Mad Max movies.
Mm-hmm.
But I gotta say, when Mad Max gets his revenge, it is so satisfying. The lengths he goes through to take out Toe Cutter and his gang. What he does to that one guy, where he handcuffs his ankle to the car.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you got 10 minutes to cut the chain or you'll be blown to smithereens. I'm like, dude.
Yeah. He's like, you're sick, man. You can't leave me here. Like, shit, the hell I can't. But but you know what? I would disagree. I don't think that hurt the movie. I mean, I can see where you're coming from, because it's called Mad Max. So we want to see Max be mad. We don't see that until 3/4 into the movie. But I guess I could see that. But like you said, when it does happen, the payoff is worth it, because the whole movie, it's like Goose is the main one doing most of the action stuff. You know what I'm saying? Besides the beginning, but other than that, it's mostly just Goose. And then when Goose gets taken out, that's when we start to see the emergence of Max doing what he does. And and the payoff definitely worked, man. That last chase with him and Toe Cutter was like so fast and intense. And mind you, these are actual. This is no CGI. No, they're actually going at it. And of course, I know you noticed the truck with the shield on the front, with the shield that was painted on the front of the truck. Did you notice that? It was like a barricade almost.
Nah, I didn't catch that.
Yeah. Go back and pause it. The moment where the truck makes impact with Toe Cutter, pause it, and you'll see that they painted some kind of board or something and put it in front of the truck, I guess, so the truck wouldn't get any damage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is funny, because it's a low budget film. Like some of the edits, because it's a low budget, I know they did the best they could with what they were given, but some of the edits were pretty unintentionally hilarious. Like, it's kind of funny, the opening chase, they hit Knight Rider's car several times, and that somehow causes the car to like burst into flames.
Oh yeah, and notice the eyes get big too, like a cartoon.
I'm like, Where did that come from?
Yeah. Well, I think he intentionally wanted to make it like a cartoon, almost like right where the cartoons before they make impact, their eyes get real big, like oh shit, like the Roadrunner. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Because even with Toe Cutter, the same thing happened. Toe Cutter took his glasses off, and his eyes got like this big before the truck smashes right into him and runs him over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he did use Roadrunner as his influence throughout like the whole franchise. I know like you can say like Fury Road was like an extended chase almost, kind of like
Mm,
Roadrunner, Wile E. Coyote.
right. Right. Yeah. So now, Toe Cutter as a villain. I know you touched on it briefly, but did he work for you as a villain? Was he menacing enough? Was he Max's equal? Where you figure like, damn, how can Max take this guy out?
Yeah, I do enjoy Toe Cutter as a villain. I wish we had seen him more, and I wish he and Max had like more scenes together. I guess to intensify the conflict of the story because they didn't really have like hardly any scenes at all together except during the action stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Toe Cutter's still an intense villain. I mean, clearly he's messed up. He'll do things to you if you get in his way. And plus, he killed Max's family and propelled Max to be Mad Max. So you got to give, I guess, Toe Cutter the respect he deserves for pushing Max as a character throughout the course of the franchise.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, I love watching the Australian version just to hear the over the top delivery of how they say, Toe Cutter!
Yeah, the Toe Cutter. We honor the Knight Rider.
Like, where is the Toe Cutter?
Yeah, but I'm telling you, if you watch that dub version, I think you'll find the especially Toe Cutter, the voice is just more menacing and kind of scary like. And I noticed even in the Aussie version, even the music, it seems like the volume was like kind of down a little bit, whereas in the dub version, like it was like full blast, where it almost like bangs your speakers, so it had like a loudness to it
Yeah.
that just intensified it. You know what I mean? Whereas the
Yeah.
Aussie version it was like really toned down as far as the volume.
Actually, the experience I had on the Blu-ray I watched the Aussie version. It was to me it felt like the music was cranked up and the dialogue was cranked down, and I had to turn the subtitles on because the dialogue and like the sound mixing was kind of off, I guess, because of the low budget.
Right.
And that plus the Australian accents can get a little thick at times. I'm like, I
Yeah.
gotta hear what these people are saying.
Okay, yeah, actually, I think you're right, but I think I got it reversed. Yeah, so it was the voices, the dialogue that was really low, and the music that was like kind of intensified a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I guess because I watched that version so many times, like for so long, that's just the version that I'm used to. Where when I first saw the Aussie version, I was like, I mean, I still love the movie, but it just didn't have the same punch as the other one did. You know what I mean?
I'll have to go back and watch the dubbed version.
Mm-hmm.
I meant to watch both versions before we did the live stream, but just I had a busy week and I only had time to watch the movie once.
Mm-hmm. Now, what about what did you feel about the chemistry between Max and his wife? I forgot the actress's name, but
I think the chemistry was fine for what it was. I think if the movie was a bit longer and the relationship was fleshed out, I think it would make the death more tragic.
mm-hmm.
But as a low budget 70s, you said almost grindhouse like of a movie.
Right.
It was fine for what it is. I think I would have gotten into it more if I think, like I said, the characters were developed a little bit more.
Yeah. I could agree with that. And so do you agree with the fact that not the fact, but do you agree with that there was some horror elements to it where like, yeah, this could be kind of creepy a little bit.
I mean, I can see that, especially some of the stuff Toe Cutter does throughout the course of the movie. Like we see him just attack just random people that just comes in contact and gets in his way. Like he'll just attack innocent bystanders. Like he had the hots for Max's wife and tried creeping up on her. You can definitely see the horror influences. In fact, when he's chasing her around before he kills her, it almost had a slasher movie vibe to it. Almost, I could definitely see like maybe George Miller might have been influenced by some of those slasher movies, maybe.
Yeah, definitely. Like one scene in particular when they went to go, I guess, claim the Knight Rider's body when they went to the train station, and they were harassing the I guess the caretaker or whoever the guy was, and there was a young couple that was just watching, and
Yeah.
they were trying to like tiptoe out of there and escape, and then Tokata caught them at the last second, like, y'all ain't getting away. He called the whole gang, hey, go after them. And they were getting away. Next thing you know, those bikes came in fast motion right behind the car with the big axe and everything. And that whole scene was crazy to me.
Yeah, it was. And then I think what made it more horrifying was like the aftermath of that, where they got beat up, and I assume the girl was raped because the way she was the way she was responding afterwards, and it was pretty messed up to see.
Mm-hmm.
Like sometimes the implications of what they did is more terrifying than what is actually shown.
The Jaws effect.
Yeah, and it was pretty effective.
Yeah, well, even with his family getting killed, like you don't see it, but you just something as small as seeing the little ball fall and the little baby shoe fall to the ground, the worst has happened. And like you said, it's kind of worse because you play in your mind like, damn, like what the hell happened to them? And your mind just kind of goes crazy, which makes it worse than actually seeing it sometimes. Like I said, the Jaws effect,
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's what you don't see that creeps you out as opposed to, what you actually do see.
Yeah, that's definitely a good point. Jaws is still like the gold standard of how to do like a thriller horror type movie, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. So wrapping up Mad Max, I mean, unless you want to add anything more to it, just I don't want to say typical, but for its time, exploitation, grindhouse, gritty, dirty, Aussie, a lot of leather, and a satisfying ending. So I thought it was a damn near perfect action movie on a shoestring budget. And of course, there was the emergence of Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson shot to stardom a little bit after that.
Yeah,
You know
that
what I
was
mean?
like his breakout role, I'm pretty sure.
Right.
Yeah. On the intro that I was mentioned earlier on Road Warrior, it said he was 23 when he played Mad Max. So
yeah, he was young. He was a
very
baby.
young.
Yeah, he was a baby.
It's kind of crazy, seeing at that age to where he is now. I'm like, man, he's had a pretty extensive career, and it started with Mad Max.
Right. And you should just wait till you see us, 30 years from now, like, oh my God, that was me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, I watched some YouTube videos from like 4 years ago that when I first started my channel, I said, oh my God, I had a baby face. I was all small and shit. I said, God. It's just like, Jacob, you'll see, man, like about 5 or 6 years into this, you're going to look back at your old videos and cringe like, ooh, shit.
Yeah, I've already seen some of them, like, because I started like late 2018, early 2019. I already cringe at my old videos where I was down in the basement, and I didn't like have the confidence. I started out like writing everything on like Google Docs and what I wanted to say, and I would just read it my phone saying, I really like this movie. This was a really great movie with awesome performances.
Yeah. Nah, bro, you definitely came a long way, man. Dude, like overnight, all of a sudden you're like, boom, the Jacob we have now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yes. I said, you got this shit now. Word. So, okay, so giving Mad Max a grade, I would give it an A. Not a perfect movie by a long shot, but as far as what an action movie is supposed to be, it checks everything off. You know what I mean? And for what it is, I really have no complaints about it.
I'm not going as high on the first movie because to me it's a little slow for my liking. Like to me, like it doesn't really get going until after the big tragedy happens. It's still an enjoyable movie. I like the action. It was cool. And I guess inspiring to see George Miller pull this off on a shoestring budget. The action sequences make it worth watching, and especially the final 15 minutes where we actually see the Mad Max stuff.
Right.
But I don't think this one is as memorable compared to the movie we'll be talking about in a few minutes, or Fury Road. This one is still a good movie. I don't think it's a great movie, and I feel like Miller executed the best strengths of this franchise, once he got to go full on bonkers with this premise, I would say.
Okay.
I think if I had to grade it, I'd go B minus just for the best elements, like the last 15 minutes.
All right, no, I can respect that. Like, I get it. Trust me, I get it. You know that's you know what that's just me being biased, seeing it so many times. It just yeah, I can't argue with that. I'm still going with the A, but I can't
Yeah.
argue with your B minus though. You know, what I'm saying
Yeah, I can respect it, especially if you grew up with it.
yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
So now,
Sometimes, if we're nostalgic for something, that kind of shadows, I think, our enjoyment of the movie
right.
because, we've seen it so many times.
Yeah, not definitely. Like for example, Empire Strikes Back. I love that movie so much, man, but I can't really watch it because like that movie's so etched into my brain. I could literally sit here right now and replay that whole movie out for you verbatim, right in front of you, and then by the end you think I'm a fucking psycho because because I know everybody's lines, I know every beat, every blast of that shot, every music cue. I know that movie from beginning to end. It's scary.
That's pretty much me with The Lion King.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, The Lion King. Yeah, God, I love that movie.
Yeah.
Now, not the live action one, but the animated
The
one.
animated one, that's what I
Yeah,
meant.
yeah. No, no.
I got Dave trolled me one time. I'm like, on Twitter, there was a question somebody asked, "What is the greatest Disney movie of all time?" And I retweeted The Lion King. I didn't do any of those GIF meme pictures. I just said The Lion King, and Dave responded, "Wow, you love the live action one like I do." And I responded with one of them
Wow, you're like
memes.
really? Yeah, you gotta love Dave, man. He always manages to catch you off guard.
Yeah.
Post what? What post me? Um, redoing doing the whole Empire Strike? No, I'm not doing that, man. So y'all can laugh at me.
You can make a one-man show out of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Rashad reenacts the entirety of Empire Strikes Back,
Sheesh.
doing all the voices.
Look at I watch Rashad replay verbally Empire. Yeah, right. Especially the Princess Leia scenes, right? I love you. I know.
I know.
Oh man, Shark Theory. By the way, shout out, man. Thank you for being here on the live, man, from Chicago. Appreciate you, brother. All right, so now we get to the main event, the Road Warrior. All right, lots of chaps, lots of leather, and a lot of shoulder pads. Okay, for such a badass, kick-ass action movie, the 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 attire, the wardrobe, kind of puts you in the mind of the Village People almost. You know what I mean? but but I love this movie though, man, and that's that's the sequel to Mad
Hang out
Max.
with Mexico
Yeah.
wives.
Oh my god! You want to get out of here? You talk to me. So the Road Warrior, the Road Warrior takes place sometime after the first Mad Max, and
Yeah.
not too long afterwards because he still has a knee brace on from when he got shot in the leg. He still has the last of the V8 interceptors. He has a dog now, and the future looks a lot more dirtier. It's dustier.
Yeah.
And now after I guess World War III happens, now the war went from the bad guys from the cops to now it's all about gasoline. The whole war is about gas, and then people are killing each other for gas, literally. And Max, of course, is I don't know if Max is killing anybody, but he's scavenging for gas all the time. You know what I mean? And now there's this new gang led by the mighty Humongous. I think that's his name.
I cannot
Yeah.
take that name seriously. Humongous.
The Humongous. Yes, Jason. Yeah, Jason with the well, what's that shit with the dominatrix outfit on?
the Mohawk guy.
No, the guy with the Jason mask, but he looks like a wrestler.
Oh yeah, I caught the Jason mask.
Yeah. So remember that
forgot
wrestling
about-
group? Remember that wrestling group Demolition from back in the early '90s? There was a wrestling group called Demolition. If you Google them real quick, you'll see. Yeah, that's where Demolition got that from. The Road Warrior.
Let me see. What's the group called? Demolition.
Demolition. Yeah, Axe and Smash. They were a tag team group. They have on the exact same outfit as the Humongous without the Jason mask.
Yep, I'm looking at. It's like, to me, it looks like a mix of Mad Max and the members of Kiss.
Yeah, yeah, exactly,
Yep.
exactly.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So yeah, so the humongous is the leader of the group, and I guess, well, not second in command, but I guess his wild card, his enforcer is the guy with the mohawk. What was his name in the movie? The guy with the mohawk.
He wasn't named in the movie, but according to Wikipedia, he's called Wes.
Wes. Okay. Yeah, he was good in the movie. He was good.
Yeah, very, very over the top.
Very over the top.
Definitely the most evil, I would say, of the group, more so than Humongous. Humongous is just the guy, he's like your big bronze that you just
Right.
kind of laugh at.
Yeah, well, because I guess they had him do the hand gestures because you couldn't see what he was saying. So every
Yeah.
time you see him talk, he's like, "We're gonna break in and get the gasoline, and anybody that gets in our way, we're going to stop them." I'm like, "What? Why are you talking with your hands, bro?"
Don't mess with me, Humongous!
Yeah, he's like, "Stop! No more games." Like, dude, what do you like? Okay, yeah, and if you recognize the actor that plays Wes, the Mohawk guy, he's Bennett from Commando. If you've seen Commando,
Oh yeah, I
with
have seen
Arnold.
Commando. Is he like
Yeah,
the main? Is he like the main bad guy in
he's
that?
the main bad guy with
Oh yeah,
the
with the
Freddie Mercury
mustache, Freddie
mustache.
Mercury mustache.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, Vernon Wells. Yep,
Wow,
yeah,
it's
he
cool
was
putting
also.
two and two together.
Yeah, that was Vernon Wells, and also he was in Weird Science, playing the same kind of character he played in the Road Warrior.
Oh, I've seen that movie. They kind of like parody Mad
Mm-hmm.
Max in one
Mm-hmm.
scene, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I realized he was in that movie as well.
Yeah, yeah. But Vernon Wells, he's been in quite a few movies, but this was his breakout role as Wes, a scary dude, man. He even had his own little. At first, as a kid, I didn't realize that was a guy on the motorcycle with him. I thought it was a girl at first, but then when I got older, I said, "Wait a minute, that's a dude on the bike with him." So I
Yeah,
guess that was his partner or whatever.
yeah, that's what I always assumed because he got so emotional when the other guy died. So it was like,
Yeah,
yeah, they definitely had a thing
they
together.
had a thing going on. Yeah, he got
Yeah,
killed by the little kid with the boomerang.
yeah.
Now to me, okay, so I know you were saying, "Oh, this motherfucker's back again." God,
Oh, you got a troll.
yeah, man. This person showed up when me and Perez did a stream.
Oh man,
Um,
hey, you gotta hate that.
yeah. That's why we need, Well, I don't have enough people watching to have a moderator, but I guess I have to moderate my own shit. So, anyways, yeah. So, like you were saying, the first movie you said to you was kind of slow at times, but to me, I think the second movie had a slower pace than the first movie was. But don't get me wrong, the second movie is better by leaps and bounds, better, but it was slower. You know what I mean? Especially,
I actually disagree. To me, the whole movie was nonstop in its action and yeah, I guess the flow of the story.
mm,
Early on, Mad Max, especially when he teams up with the village when they get together, they have
right,
like a plan to get the gas from Humongous and go
hmm,
off on their merry way.
right.
And once the main plot was set up, it was a non-stop thrill ride from beginning to end. And I think I got into the Road Warrior more because it had a pretty central narrative that pretty much
Mm-hmm.
defined the movie. Unlike in the first one, to me the narrative didn't pick up until the last 15 minutes.
Well, I think you feel that way because we didn't actually see Max do Max stuff. It's like you said, 3/4 of the way through. Whereas this one is Max throughout. Him and the tall guy with the helicopter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. What's that guy's name? That guy annoyed the crap out of me. I didn't care for him too much.
Yeah. What was his name? Yeah. I don't know a lot of these characters' names.
Uh, who's the guy that rides the
I just
gyro captain?
The
That's his
gyro
name.
captain. Yeah. Okay.
I didn't care for him. He's like the only character I didn't like.
Well, he did help save the day. If it wasn't for him, Max wouldn't have got away.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
know.
But I don't know. It seemed like he was the one. I just didn't really care for like his mannerisms, and he just kind of
Right.
felt like he belonged in a different movie. I thought his flying device thing was kind of neat, but
Mm.
other than that, I didn't care for the character.
Well, you definitely seen him in something before. So he was in Revenge of the Sith
Oh, yeah.
when it,
I
yeah,
see the guy's face on Wikipedia. I think I
yeah,
know who you're talking about. Is he the guy on the planet that General Grievous was hiding? When he like the
mm-hmm,
leader guy?
yeah, that's him.
Oh
Yep,
wow.
that was him. Yeah,
You're the one educating me in this video. I seem like
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
educating you in some of these streams.
Yeah, yeah, he was
Wow.
a well, because because he has a really tall frame, so he can be used for a lot of characters like that.
Yeah.
Um,
Wow. That's cool.
let's see, Mad Max. Oh, Blacktastic, what's up, bro?
Yes.
Thanks for stopping by, man. Mad
Awesome
Max, Indiana
YouTuber.
Jones are my two favorite characters in cinema history.
Those are
Okay,
some good picks.
yeah, yeah,
That's to me. It's crazy that Road Warrior and Raiders of the Lost Ark came out the same year,
that's
and they
right, they
both
did.
kind of reinvented how to do an action movie.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
would say.
Yeah, well, you know what? Because action and not as much, not too much verbiage, not too much dialogue. Because Max, I think Max probably has like maybe 10 lines in the whole movie.
Yeah, he
You
definitely
know,
had less dialogue here than in the first one.
right, right. The strong, silent type. Less is more. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
and
And
you know what his character does and thinks even without the dialogue because Mel
right.
Gibson just had that presence in him to where
Mm,
you know what he's thinking whenever he strikes at any point in the movie.
yeah. And to me, his character definitely had an arc in this movie because in the first movie, he was a cop that was, trying to do good, and then of course he goes crazy, gets revenge, and now he's just a wanderer,
Mm-hmm.
has no purpose, has nothing to live for. He's just scavenging for gas. And then he comes across these people that are being bullied by the humongous, and Max at first wants nothing to do with it, like because typically the hero steps in and says, "Oh no, I will help you." Here I
Mm-hmm.
come to save the day. Though Max is like, "Listen, I don't care about y'all. I just want to get my gas and go." You know, like
Yeah.
I'll help y'all, but I want to get my gas. This is not my fight. I just want to get out of here. And then of course he has a moment where they catch up to him, they mess him up, and he gets saved by the same people he left behind. And now he's like, you know what? Well, I guess I do have a purpose. I'm gonna help these people out. Even if it costs. So he goes back to being that hero that he was in the first movie by the end of this one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. And I think, too, once he starts bonding with the kid in the movie, because the kid kind of reminded him, I would say, of his original son in a way.
Right,
Once
right.
he started bonding with the kid, he's like, okay, I got to do this. I got to help
Yeah,
them.
yeah, yeah. And their relationship was cute. Like I said,
Yeah, I
no
really
no
like that.
dialogue between them. But it's like at first he was like, "Go away, like shoot, like, get out of here." But the kid he just always stuck by him.
Yeah, and even
Yeah.
with that lack of dialogue, you still care about these characters. And that's, I think, the
Hmm.
beauty of what makes this movie really, really work.
Right, and that kid was ride or die too. Like he never, even during that chase, which we're gonna get to in a second. But even during that chase, that kid was by his side. Like when
Yes.
the guy like dug his like he had some kind of like claw where he dug into Max's shoulder, and the kid's sitting there fighting the guy, biting him, trying to get him off of him, knowing he can't do nothing to him. But I said, you know what? I want my son to fight for me like that, man. That's
Man,
what I'm talking
that
about.
kid is awesome.
Yeah.
I've actually seen this theory float about that the kid that we saw in the Road Warrior is
Mm,
actually the one who grows up to be Tom Hardy's Mad Max in Fury Road.
really?
Because the since that kid he doesn't say much, he just kind of grunts and growls and stuff.
Hmm.
Well, Tom Hardy when he played Max, he had fewer lines of dialogue than Mel Gibson in all three movies, and so
Right.
people have theorized that that's actually the kid grown up in the kid from Mad Max 2 grown up.
That would actually be awesome. It would make sense too because he idolized Max, so it would make sense that he would grow up to be just like him.
Yeah, and I guess if you go the Fury Road, and a lot of people say, is it really a continuation of the original three or a reboot? Because they do kind of tweak Max's origin in there. Because if you pay attention, when they flash back to his family being killed,
Mm,
and Fury Road he has a daughter, whereas in the original he has a son.
mm, yeah,
Or
but then again, it wouldn't make sense because remember at the end of the movie, the kid said that he became the leader of the tribe, and then the Road Warrior. That's the last we ever saw of him. But of course, if they never sold him again, how would he get the V8 Interceptor that Max had?
Mm.
You know, because that's the last of the V8s.
It's an interesting theory.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the original Max died and this kid found his car. I don't know.
Yeah, it could. I mean, you know, could be. I mean, hey, with movies now, you know, if the movies have taught us anything, especially Star Wars, no one's ever really did. So,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like you could do anything, you know, with this shit, with these
Yeah.
stories. Yeah. So to you, right? I don't know if I'm jumping. I'm sorry, there's a lot of noise outside. I live in the hood. Crazy. Okay. So as a villain, who worked better, Toe Cutter or well, you know, I can't even say because Humongous really didn't do nothing. Toe Cutter or Wez? Who you think was a more effective villain?
I'd say Wes.
Wez, yeah,
He was more memorable, I would say.
yeah, he was psycho.
Definitely Psycho. Oh, man. His death during that chase, I think, got the
Yeah.
biggest grin on my face. It was like, I don't know how they pulled that stunt off. I know they had to probably use like a dummy when they actually did the crash or whatever, but
right.
oh man, when Max and Humongous did that chicken match at the end, and Humongous's vehicle just broke into like multiple pieces. And I was like, how did they get away with this?
Yeah, and bro, and think back then that shit blew people away. Yeah, bro. If you go watch the Siskel and Ebert review of that movie, like they were like, "Yo, like you thought people actually got killed during that scene because like it was so realistic." Like Gene, both of them said the same thing. You said they was like, "How the hell did they film that without anybody actually dying?"
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah,
I would say if we're making like the Mad Max Indiana Jones comparison, I think the Road Warrior has the better chase sequence.
facts.
But I think Raiders is the more iconic movie than me, I would say.
I would agree with that. I would agree with that. Yeah, overall Raiders is just
when I've seen it so many times, and it like I'd say Indy's a more, I guess, relatable character in a lot of ways, and he's just somebody anybody can watch and latch onto and enjoy the adventure. Whereas Mad Max is cool, but I think it's more of a niche market compared to Indiana Jones.
Mm-hmm.
It's still fun, but Indiana Jones has that broad appeal that anybody can enjoy, and what was I saying? Anyone can enjoy the adventure compared to, I guess, Mad Max.
Oh, well, you know what? I always put it to the test with my kids. So I tried showing my daughter the Road Warrior. She didn't make it. But she watched Raiders all the way through, and then she wanted to see the next one. She watched Temple of Doom all the way through. Then she wanted to watch the next one, Last Crusade. Then she wanted to watch the next one. I said, no, there's only 3. There are only 3.
I have a soft spot for Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Oh, that movie can kick rocks. First 2 characters that come to my mind as faves is Vader and Tony Montana. Darth Vader is my favorite Star Wars character.
Yeah,
yes, the bad guy. Tony Montana is one of my favorite movie characters, also of all time.
That's Scarface, isn't it?
Yeah, Scarface, yeah.
I still need to see that.
Yeah, listen, Pacino, that guy, like, that was the first Al Pacino movie I ever seen, and he played a Cuban so good, I thought that Al Pacino was actually Cuban. Because I haven't seen The Godfather or anything else before then. Scarface was my introduction to Al Pacino. So I thought he was actually Cuban. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how convincing he was.
Like, I'm sure he's great in that movie. Like, I know, like, the say hello to my little friend and all that stuff. Yeah. I just hadn't gotten around to seeing it.
Oh, yeah.
He's great in The Godfather, though.
Look. He's like, look at what? Okay, Shark Theory. Jacob is a lot younger than us, fam. Jacob is, like, not even 30 yet.
26.
26. But this dude watches movies at a pace that he will, Jacob will become more powerful than either of us. So just be patient, my friend.
Yeah. Eventually.
Yeah, he'll get there.
It's coming.
It's coming. He'll get there. Yeah. But and I'm thinking of Wes too. Remember how your boy Humongous had him chained up? Like he was so buck wild where he had him chained like a dog.
Yeah.
So he couldn't do anything. But then when it came time to, all right, we gotta let him loose now. Cut the chain, let him go do what he do.
Yeah.
It almost made him crash the truck. But like you said, Raiders is the better movie. But that chase, I say is like one of the greatest chases ever in film
Yeah,
history.
I would
You
agree.
know.
It's worth watching just for the chase, I would
Mm-hmm.
say.
Yeah. Kid I was about was blown away at 13. Yeah. Yeah. Scarface was classic. But
Yeah.
yeah. That chase was crazy. And then what I like about it too, it's like the calm after the storm. So after that chase is over with, you can catch your breath now. And then that slow music kicks in, and then
Hmm.
you see Max and the kid emerge from the truck. And he's all busted up, and I'm like,
Yep.
yo, that's an action movie. And I love that last shot where the kid's narrating, and then that last shot where it's on Max and the camera's fading out. He was
Yeah.
like the road warrior. That's the last we ever saw of him. He lives now, only in our memory. That shot was so badass. I'm like, yo, George Miller is a
Yeah.
master.
I
Yeah.
love that. I love that the movie opens and closes with the same shot where you see Max
Mm-hmm.
in that state. Like it teases the Road Warrior. Does
Right.
like a good recap of the first movie. I guess for
Mm-hmm.
those who didn't see the first movie, did it pretty good too. Like this
Right.
works as a standalone movie, I would say. And then
Mm-hmm.
it closes with Max in that same shot, and I'm like, this is some good storytelling right here.
Yeah. It's such a simple story, and you think about it, like with most action movies, okay, there always has to be a love interest or kind of hint at a love interest. There has to be
Yeah,
some kind of, but Max is just so as straightforward as they come. No love interest, no, just straight up Max searching for gas, helping these people. The end.
yep.
but it's told so well. You know what I'm saying? That I don't see what negative anybody can say about this
Mm.
movie. To be honest with you.
I think I got one negative, and it sounds like a gripe, and I guess it's from the younger version, who's the younger generation, I guess like me, who saw Fury Road first. As
Okay.
much as I love this movie, I feel like Miller made a better version of it with Fury Road. Like Fury Road took what Road Warrior did
Mm-hmm.
and just executed it 10 times greater. And I'd say both movies have pretty similar plots
Right.
because the fight is about gas and oil, and
Mm-hmm.
that's pretty much what the chase is after. But Fury Road, the whole movie is a chase.
Yeah.
And I love Fury Road because of the excessive action that it does have while keeping an engaging story through
Mm-hmm.
and through.
Yeah.
Whereas, the Road Warrior, there's like two really good chases, the best one being the very end. It's really awesome, and I like the story, but I think Fury Road did it so much better.
Mm. It's a bold statement, but I'd be what, but Jacob, many would agree with you, and I
Yeah.
might agree with you. I'm gonna have because I just recently watched Road Warrior, so I'm gonna have to watch Fury Road again and just see how I feel watching it because I think from a technical level, yes, you are right. Fury Road is the better made movie. You know what I'm saying? The way it's shot, everything was just surpassed the Road Warrior, man. But that chase, man, God,
It's a good chase.
it's iconic,
Def-
man.
Definitely one of the best action scenes of that era for
Yeah.
sure.
So let me ask you this. Okay, so what was the other chase? You said there was only two good chases in the movie. What was the
Oh,
other
I
one?
mean the other chase, when Max was racing to get the gas from Humongous at the middle act of the movie.
Oh, you're talking about
No,
when they blew his car up?
yeah, that was a good
Okay.
chase. I like that
Okay.
scene as well. That was pretty suspenseful.
Yeah. Only thing I didn't like about that was they killed the dog. For some
Yeah,
reason, I'm sensitive about animals, bro. So whenever I see a dog get killed in a movie, it hurts my feelings.
yeah, I can see that. I mean, I've had dogs. I've lost dogs. It's pretty sad, but you know,
Mm,
if it builds character,
yeah.
then it better benefits the story.
Right. Nah, definitely. I agree, man. So I would what else can we say about this movie, man? It's like,
Yeah,
it's just a great
it
straight
is.
up action film that does.
It,
And I think the problem with action films now is that they try to do too much. Like they try to give too much backstory to the hero. It's too much exposition, too much
yeah,
explaining. And so a movie that's supposed to be an hour and a half long nowadays, it has to be like 2 hours, 2.5 hours for like a simple action film. Like, no, you don't have to do all that.
yeah.
You
Sometimes
know?
the best stories is when you get to the point.
Yeah.
Like John Wick, for example. Like 10 minutes in, his dog gets killed. That propels John Wick to do his thing, and it's awesome.
Exactly. Exactly. Rambo, First Blood. The man wanted something to eat. That's all he wanted, a sandwich. And the sheriff arrested him, and then boom, first
Yep.
blood. You know, within
Yeah.
10 minutes, you knew what kind of ride you was in for. You know, whereas nowadays in action movies, it's like, yes, you know, his wife left him, and now he's an alcoholic, and you know, his kids don't like him, and you know, he's in search of identity. Who cares? Just give us the hero. You know, put the hero in a situation we want to see him get out of, and then along the way we can learn about him. But don't give me 30 or 40 minutes of who this person is, and then we get into the action. Oh,
Yeah, and I think too, a lot of movies, I would say, the reason why a lot of the action movies aren't as memorable now, I would say, a lot of them are either too predictable,
right.
and so they just come off as boring and uninspiring, or sometimes, you know, some action movies, you know, they kind of overdo it on CGI to where it kind of takes you out of the groundedness of the movie. I love practical action in my action movies. They're the ones that, you know, really stand out. That's why I'm loving the Mission Impossible movies, because they keep going one step above the previous movie, and it's all practical and Tom Cruise doing his own stunts.
Shout out to Tom Cruise, man, the last action star.
Yep, I mean, I have seen that pop up, especially after Top Gun came out. Like somebody did a video essay, why Tom Cruise is the last true movie star. I'm like, yep.
Yeah, I mean, you know why? Because Tom actually gives a damn. Tom has a knowledge and an understanding of what a film is supposed to be and what the audience wants. He's been doing this shit like forever. So Tom knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
And that's why every time he makes something, even though we have a few years gap, but when he does drop it, it's gold every time.
Yep. Well, with the exception of The Mummy, that was terrible.
I forgot about that one.
That was the one exception. But yeah, the Mission Impossible movies, Top Gun, Maverick, those are pretty awesome.
I think the Mummy was more of one of those kind of movies where, like, if you ever see that, you know, what's the actor, Michael Caine, right? With Michael Caine, they asked him, like, did you see Jaws the Revenge? He said, no, I never seen Jaws the Revenge, but I can tell you, I can show you the house that it built, you know?
Yeah.
So I think for Tom, that was definitely a paycheck movie. It was like, I don't want to do that shit. Here's $50 million. First day of shooting again, you know?
If it helps fund Mission Impossible 6, there we go.
Right, exactly. And, you know, another pet peeve of mine, too, man, is CGI blood. I hate CGI blood.
Yeah.
That just really irritates me, bro.
Oh, man, like, The Expendables is fun, but they put CGI blood in those movies. I'm like, oh my gosh, why?
Yeah, I'd rather the old school thick, bright red corn syrup type blood that you knew was fake, but damn it, at least it was a liquid coming out of their body. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whereas the CGI blood looks so synthetic, it just kind of takes you out of the illusion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just sticks out like a sore thumb because you know. They digitally added it in. Mm-hmm. It doesn't even look like real blood.
Nah, it doesn't. And speaking of blood, there's not much blood in this movie either, is it? I don't think there's really any blood.
Not really. Considering, you know, it's rated R. Like, the R rating, I think, is mainly because of how brutal the crashes are.
Right.
I was like, man.
Yeah. Nah, I'm telling you, if I think the video might still be on there, check out Siskel and Ebert's review for The Road Warrior. There was like, wow.
I'm pretty sure it's up there because Siskel and Ebert videos are on YouTube all the time.
I love watching their reviews, man. Especially like an old movie. Like I'll watch the movie first, and then I'll watch their review and see if what I feel kind of connects with what they say. Yeah. But if you want to see a real funny Siskel and Ebert video, there's one where it's like a blooper video where it's supposed to be where the camera's not supposed to be rolling, but the camera's still rolling, and they're trolling each other. It's the funniest shit ever, Jacob.
I've seen that.
You see that one?
Yeah. There was a documentary that came out a few years ago called Life Itself, which was all about Roger Ebert, and it had some of those Siskel and Ebert blooper reels in it. It was some of the funniest stuff.
It was funny, because it was a botch, right? So Gene Siskel was supposed to be introducing RoboCop, right? He said, so next we have the new science fiction RoboCop. Because he's always flubbing his lines, and then Roger Ebert was like, for Gene, speech is a second language, and then so Gene thought about it, right? He said, You know, for Roger's second language is, can I have fries with that? You know, when he goes to McDonald's, he orders every fucking thing on the menu, and they just start going at each other, man. It's the funniest thing.
Yeah. The one I've always enjoyed, I think it was for that. They reviewed a Burt Reynolds movie one time,
Mm,
and it was one I think all the critics hated it. Gene Siskel hated it,
yeah.
and Roger's like, I liked it, and Gene was like, what? How do you like this stuff? I think it was Cop and a Half, if I'm not mistaken.
Cop and a Half. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I did see that one. Yeah, it was Cop and a Half. Yeah. I mean, bro, like, you know, Jacob, that happens, man. There's movies that are going to be considered terrible, and you're going to be like, well, I enjoyed that, you know.
Yep.
Like today, I watched Perez and Dave. They reviewed Swamp Thing. I checked that video out.
I did too.
And I like Swamp Thing, as bad as it is. Like, it's a guilty pleasure for me. And I think Perez for a second wanted to punch my lights out. He was like, bro, he said, it's on Tubi for free. Watch Swamp Thing and tell me why it's a good movie. And I'm like,
hey, there are some legit good movies on Tubi.
That's not one of them.
I saw you recommended Class of 1984, and it was on Tubi, and I really like that movie.
Oh man, love that joint. Yeah, love it, man.
Yeah, you and Mike recommended that when you collabed.
Now, see, I would love to see what Perez says about that one, because see, Perez is very hard on the old '80s movies, man. I noticed that Perez is really hard on the '80s movies, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, he does a rant on a lot of stuff, but when it comes to like the '80s, yeah, he goes in.
Yeah, that is a little weird, because I feel like a lot of the '80s movies have like this timeless feel. Right. There might be some dated aspects, I guess, in some of the acting and maybe some of the editing in some of the movies, but man, a lot of them still hold up, I would say. Like Raiders of the Lost Ark, The Road Warrior, E.T.
Right.
I mean, Star Wars.
Yeah. But that's
Blues Brothers.
That's our boy Perez, man. You know, still love him though, man. I still love him.
Perez is pretty awesome.
Yeah, he's just not an '80s guy.
Yeah, I gotta credit Perez. He was like the first like YouTuber that I really got in touch with, and he's like been the most supportive, and he was the one who helped me find an audience, I would say, because he led me to the Facebook group, the YouTubers supporting YouTubers, and yeah, he was like probably the first like YouTube friend I made on here.
Yeah, now also, you know, he brought us all together too, man. Like I call Perez the RZA. You know, if you know the Wu-Tang Clan, you know, the RZA was the guy that brought the whole Wu-Tang Clan together. So I was like, yo, Perez is like the RZA, man. He just brought all us YouTubers that we probably would never even known each other, talked to each other if not been for him. You know what I mean? So definitely props for that.
I'd call him the Godfather.
The Godfather. Make him an offer he can't refuse. All right, I'm trying to get G to check out a review for White. Okay, is that a White Boys? Is that like a low budget like hood movie or something?
I've never heard of it. I can look it up because I got
that looks like something that would be in the $5 bin.
White Boys. I'm not. It looks like it's a 1999 comedy. It was an independent film.
Yeah.
A lot of these people I don't even know, but apparently Snoop Dogg's in it.
Oh Lord. White Boys movie. You know, if Snoop's in, I know the movie's not good. The only movie that Snoop's ever been, two movies that Snoop's been in that's been good is Baby Boy and Training Day. White Boys. Comedy drama. I don't even know any of the actors in here.
Danny Hotch, Dan Mihawk. I've never heard of any of these people. Piper Perabo.
Okay, listen, I'm just gonna read. Okay, Flip, James, Trevor are passionate hip hop fans who yearn to become rappers during the gangster era of the late '90s. However, as white kids from comfortable suburban Iowa, they find that dream impossibly distant until Flip befriends Khaled, an African-American transfer student. When Flip and his friends press Khaled to take them to Chicago's Notorious Inner City projects. They see the truth behind their. Oh, that does sound fascinating.
It is kind of fascinating. I feel
That
like
sounds like that sounds like the story of Third Base.
maybe surprised they didn't cast Eminem in that movie. I think he would have made that more,
Yeah,
I guess, believable.
nah. Well, he was doing 8 Mile at the time. What about
Or
Triple R? Good movie,
I still need
really
to
good.
see that. Like that movie just blew up on people's channels. Like yeah, you talked about it, Perez
Hmm.
talked about it, Mike talked about it,
Yeah.
and I've just seen nothing but great things. And I haven't seen any Indian movies,
Mm,
but seeing all the positive buzz on that movie, to me it reminds me of what Parasite was several years
mm,
ago, and Parasite was an amazing movie and even won
yeah.
Best Picture and deservedly so. I
Mm,
definitely
well,
can. I need to check that one out.
yeah. Well, I heard it's really blowing up in India right now. I think that movie's like the Star Wars right now of
Of
India.
India,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Yeah, that
that's
movie's a slot. And bro, like I watched it. I watched it here at home. I had the projector on the wall, and it is a very big, colorful, fun action superhero musical comedic war film drama action movie.
that's like combines every genre into one movie.
Just about, yeah, just about, and a bromance that could come across kind of suspect, but I guess in different cultures, guys bond like that. Where of course here, everything is, you know, funny if you do anything that's remotely like, like if I just come and just put my hand on your shoulder, man, that's gay. Ah, no, it's not. I just put
No,
my hand on his shoulder, man.
yeah, we're, hey, we're
Damn,
just bros here.
just bros here, man. Or if you say anything that sounds gay, you have to say pause after that. Say it. So yeah,
Right.
so after you got naked, pause. Yeah, but yeah, I highly recommend that, bro. So yeah, I mean, if you watch it, definitely want to see a review on it because it was
Yeah.
pretty good
Oh man,
movie.
I mean I've watched some of these other reviews and I've seen like comments blow up on these other
Yeah,
videos.
yeah. I think the one that blew up the most was Sydney Volpe. I think her name is. She's in
Yeah, yeah, she was.
our
Yeah, I watched her video on it too. I think she was the one that kind of got the ball rolling. I think.
Yeah, I think because right now, like I just looked, man. Her shit's at like 70,000, bro. 70,000 views,
Oh
bro.
wow,
Well, close to 70,000, man. That
man,
shit blew up. Yeah.
man,
So
she picked the
she's
right
like,
movie to talk about to help
what?
grow her channel.
Yeah, yeah. Look, all it takes is one video, man. It just takes one video. Then after that, everything else it just trickles down, and you can just make a video about blowing your nose, and it gets like 10,000 views for no reason. You
Yeah,
know. Right now we're still like in the hustle stage where we have to like we're still trying to find that one video that's gonna catapult us. You know what I mean?
hmm,
Yeah. So wrapping up this video because we're like going on for an hour now. So wrapping it up, the Road Warrior definitely is the better of the two, but still watching together, I love both these films. But if I give it the Rashad G treatment, the Road Warrior gets an A plus in my book. That last chase sequence gets an A plus 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 plus. All right, one of the best action chase sequences of all time, hands down. Love the Road Warrior. Any last thoughts on the movie and what's your grade for it?
yep. I do enjoy the movie. Like I said, I think Fury Road's a better version of the Road Warrior, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't think this one is, I guess, as memorable as Fury Road was, but I still enjoy it for what it is. Mel Gibson, I'd say this is probably the best he was as Mad Max in this movie. The action is very consistent, and I love the final chase. If I had
Mm-hmm.
just graded the movie on the chase alone, it would get an A plus. But
Right.
the movie itself is still pretty good. I love the small scale journey. I love the expansion of like the post apocalypse stuff and the world building. I think is really good in this movie,
Mm-hmm.
and with a simple story, and it still holds up pretty good. I don't think it's as good as Fury Road, but I'd say this is my second favorite in the Mad Max series.
Okay.
And if I had to grade it, I would go B plus.
B plus. Okay. Nice. Nice. Now, questions. It's been a long time since I've seen Fury Road. Did they do the same shot like they did in Road Warrior, where they kind of panned out at the end, where they just had Max just standing there, and the camera just slowly
Um,
like pans away? Did they have that same shot in Fury Road or no?
No, the movie, as from what I recall, because it's been a couple of years since I've seen Fury Road.
Mm,
From what I recall, the movie ended with a shot of the water because there
mm,
was fights over not just gas and oil, but also the supply of water. And
okay.
at the end of the movie, the water opens up for that area to get into because the villain was just controlling it just for himself and his henchmen, pretty much.
Morton Joe,
And more to,
yeah.
yeah, that is my favorite villain in all of the Mad Max movies. Did you know he and Toe Cutter were played by the
The
same
same actor, yeah.
actor?
I always you took the words out of my mouth. I was just gonna say that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hugh. How you say his name? Hugh Key Burns or something like that. That's
I
his
can. Yeah, Hugh Keys Burns.
Burns, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, be Morton Joe. Yeah, he was scary looking.
Oh,
He was menacing, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I think he's definitely the best villain.
better than Toe Cutter, I would say.
I would say that Toe Cutter was scarier.
And talk about a crazy voice too. Like whenever
Yeah.
Morton Joe starts talking, I'm like, man,
Hmm.
he's creepy. I always
Yeah.
love mediocre.
Yeah, mediocre. It's the best line of the movie, man. Well, shit. Well, I thought you was gonna say the best villain was gonna be Tina Turner.
We'll get the Thunderdome when we get there.
Yes, yes. Look, I'm gonna need some tequila. I'm gonna need some tequila when I get on that one, man.
I've only seen Thunderdome once. I
Mm,
didn't like it. That's all I'll say.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, you know what? And speaking of Siskel and Ebert, Roger Ebert actually said it was his favorite of the three of them.
Oh
He
wow.
said, yeah, he said that the movies kept getting better with each movie, and Beyond Thunderdome is the pinnacle, is the best of the three. And I'm like, did we watch the same fucking movie?
Yeah, I mean, some critics have their opinions.
Yeah.
I know the one that always baffled me was Roger Ebert did not like the first two Home Alone movies. He did not
Mm,
get into those movies. He thought they were ridiculous.
yeah.
Yet he loved Home Alone 3, the one everybody hated. He's like, that's the best one. That one felt the
Yeah.
most believable. I'm like,
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
I'm like, wow.
Yeah,
That's
Roger
like
Ebert. Yeah, Roger Ebert sometimes really missed the mark on his
that was
reviews.
like the biggest hot take. I think he did. Like nobody I know prefers 3 over the first two.
I've
except
never
Roger
even
Ebert.
I've never
I
even
don't.
seen the third one.
I have not seen it in so long.
Hmm.
I liked it as a kid.
Yeah.
It doesn't hold up, I would say, compared to the first two because you have a different kid and it's a different situation.
Mm.
But I will definitely rewatch that again, especially considering we got Home Sweet Home Alone now, that new Home Alone movie, which is absolute
Uh,
dumpster fire. It was
yeah.
like the worst movie I saw of 2021. It was an absolute disgrace to Home
Wow.
Alone. Home Alone 3, I could see being a masterpiece in comparison.
God. Yeah. I've never seen three. I've never seen. I stopped at two. After two, I didn't need to see anymore.
Yeah.
Um. Q, what's up, bro?
Hey, Q.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I gotta get you on one of these lives, Q. We gotta talk. Yeah, we gotta talk something soon. Man. I think last thing me and Q did was the Last Dragon, and I think no, was it? Yeah, was it last? I think Last Dragon's the last live stream we did together.
Yeah.
Yeah, shit. So,
I'm sure you can come up with a good 80s movie.
oh, listen, I'm gonna have some alcohol tonight. I'm gonna come up with something real good. Well, while I watch The Boys, yes, because I'm gonna watch that as soon as we get off this stream here. But like I said, it's not for the squeamish. So if you're don't watch it if you're sensitive to certain things.
I mean, I'll give shows a chance, but
Yeah.
sometimes when something goes a little too far, I'm like,
Well,
not for me.
there's a lot of anatomy. There's a lot of bodies being exploded. There's a lot of explicit, sexually explicit situations.
Mm.
There's like for example, the whole theory with Ant-Man could have ended Endgame with just going up Thanos, and
Yeah, I know
they
that.
act,
I've
but they
I've seen
actually
that.
they actually do that on this show. Like what we
Oh
thought about
wow.
them doing, they actually do it.
Oh,
Yeah, the boys they
that
go
that
there.
that that's actually kind of funny.
Yeah, they go there, bro. And the main character, his name is Homelander. He's like evil Superman. So if Superman was evil
Nice.
and psychotic and a little unhinged, That's Homelander.
I feel like we've got that movie already. What was that movie that came out several years ago?
Brightburn.
Brightburn.
No, well, yeah, Brightburn. Yeah, Brightburn was cool, but this guy's like really psychotic. Like, whatever he's in a scene, you feel just uncomfortable because you don't know what he's gonna do. Like, he just has that look in his eye, like you don't know if he's gonna kill you or if he's gonna shake your hand or what he's gonna do. He's just that unstable of a character. Yeah. So, I mean, you've been warned. I warned you. So if you feel like something you can handle, man, and
hey, I got into Peacemaker though. That was a pretty fun show.
I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, it's hard R.
Okay.
Even as an HBO Max show, some of the humor was hit and miss, but that's just, I guess, how I function. You know, how I react to certain stuff. But I still enjoyed it. It's easily the best I've seen John Cena in. Like, if you thought he was good in the Suicide Squad, they like elevate his character in Peacemaker to places I did not expect. And you know, with James Gunn at the helm, it's actually really good.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check that out then. Okay, because I have it, I just never watched it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So there you have it, y'all. So Mad Max, A for me. Road Warrior, A plus. B minus, Mad Max for you. B plus for the Road Warrior. All right. So next we have Beyond Thunderdome.
At least it's got a good Tina Turner song.
That's the only thing good about the movie. We don't need another hero. And bro, and in the movie, bro, she talks the same way she sings. It's funny. You know, Master Blaster runs Border Town. Well, aren't we a pair, Raggedy Man? I'm like,
it's been several years since I've seen the movie. I just remember the beginning was good.
Yeah.
The ending was good. The middle, when Max is hanging out with the kids, is so boring.
It was like three different movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was three different movies. Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, we're definitely gonna get to that. Yeah, so next double feature, Beyond Thunderdome and your personal favorite, Fury Road.
Yeah.
So I know you can't wait to talk about that one.
I can't wait to talk Fury Road.
Yeah. All right, man. So thank you for joining me once again, bro. Jacob Barton, subscribe to the channel. If my old ass don't forget, I'm gonna put the link in the description once this is over with. Cause I posted my Godfather video today, and I was like, I said in the description below I got Dave's link for Interpreting the Stars and our other Godfather videos, and it took me 5 or 6 hours to remember. Holy shit, I forgot to post the links. Okay. I suck at that, bro. Yeah.
I usually do all that while I'm uploading the video.
Right.
That's how I remember.
Yeah, I need to do that, man. Even promoting the live, thank you for going to our group and, putting out there that we're going to go live, because I was out working too, but then I be doing so damn much, you know what I mean? Then by the time I'm like, damn, I forgot to post it. I forgot to, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting old, man.
Yeah, I'm watching out for you.
All right, well, I appreciate that, bro. I appreciate that. We're family. We're family.
Family.
Your family and your family. I don't even know you. Shut up. You're still family and your family. All right. So everybody, we about to head on out. Jacob, thank you once again. And we are out of here.